Consider this one point. Awareness, consciousness, your attention. When this attention is perceiving without a sense of I. When consciousness is at its source prior to perceiving through a sense of I, there is the perception of one supreme happiness. There's the perception of infinite goodness, infinite love. All suffering begins when this attention perceives through a sense of me, a sense of I. We think attention is coming from me. It's coming from this I. It's coming from this name, this form, this mind. This is where attention is coming from, right? Let's hope not. But that is the assumption. The assumption is we are this I, this mind, this body, and we are the consciousness that is perceiving through this mind, this body, is because of this mind and body, is because of this sense of I. You get it? Consciousness. We assume consciousness comes from me. But as long as consciousness is rooted in this assumption that I am perceiving this moment, I, this mind, is perceiving this moment. I, Kip, with all my problems, all my worries, all my desires, all my opinions, all my judgments, am the true existence. Then life is separate from the supreme happiness. Yes, this I can feel happy and unhappy, but the happiness I am talking about is not an emotional happiness. It is all encompassing goodness, peace, bliss. That is the truth. That is the consciousness prior to being filtered through a sense of I. Consciousness who is free of being bound to a limited sense of I. So then the equation is, if I have my attention on my thoughts, my mind, myself, that I am the perceiver, I am the thinker, I am the knower, I am the reality. If we perceive from this, Any time our attention is in this, our attention is going into ego perception, mind perception, separate perception. The perception that I am separate from everything else, and hell begins, suffering begins. Not saying it's wrong or it's a sin, but it is a fact. No matter what some positive thinking person tells you, that you can think your way into happiness, and it is true. You can have more positive thoughts and be outwardly more emotionally happy, but that happiness does not fulfill you. The illusion is that we can be happy as this person. We can discover the joy we are seeking outwardly. If I just get this car, if I just get this job, if I just get this relationship, or if I just get out of this relationship, if I just get away from this house, if I can just get out of this job. You see it? When you get it, you think the happiness is not having it. But the moment you turn your attention to what we would call spiritual practice, to a mantra, to the awareness of this moment, to a breathing technique, to feeling the bliss in the Shakti music in these videos, our attention touches supreme happiness. Our attention is starting to move towards the freedom from this I. If you can first realize the consciousness who is prior to all sense of I, to all sense of being, to all sense of I am, to all sense of I know. If you can find the essence, who is also the essence of every experience you have. It's the essence of every story. It's the essence of even this ego, this mind. If we can find this consciousness who is prior to mind, prior to a sense of I, we discover the one supreme happiness, the one supreme joy. It can be a path of devotion, it can be a path of meditation, it can be a path of yogic practices. It can be abiding in the goodness, in the peace and the bliss. You feel in these videos, you feel listening to this music. We are, every moment we do this, we are bringing our attention, we are bringing ourselves towards joy, towards freedom, towards goodness. Even if you are uncomfortable, you are aware of the discomfort, you are aware of the unhappiness you feel, in this moment. I'm not saying you're unhappy, but if that is the case, that you are uncomfortable or you are unhappy, you are in a lack of peace and bliss, the awareness of that changes everything. The awareness of the unhappiness is supreme happiness. It's just a matter of where we are willing to put our attention. And we can talk about the attachments, our attachments to thoughts, our attachments to situations, our attachments to who we think we are. And every moment we give to turning our attention to practice, to spiritual practice, could be just feeling the bliss in this moment. Feeling the bliss who is beyond mind. The Shakti music awakens bliss. These videos hopefully awaken bliss, and you feel the bliss, feel the goodness. That bliss, that goodness is prior to mind, is prior to a sense of I. How wonderful, how lucky we are. To have this opportunity to discover the bliss who is the essence, who is the truth. This bliss is also the consciousness who is prior to a sense of I. That consciousness, the pure consciousness, the true consciousness, is not bound to any sense of I, is not bound to perceiving through a mind, through a person. This is what we discover. It is consciousness who is prior to everything. Prior to mind coming in, prior to a sense of I coming in, is unbound, is supreme joy, supreme goodness, is infinite blessings. The very attention is blessings. Is happiness, true happiness. It seems a worthy pursuit, doesn't it? A worthy pursuit. The path to realization. The path to supreme happiness is a worthy pursuit. Jema. If you got something good out of this video, if it made some sense, if you felt something good, please feel free to comment, like, share. May you be blessed in her one supreme joy, supreme goodness. May everyone and everything be blessed in her supreme joy, her supreme goodness. Om Rim Shikrabhyo Namaha. Om Namaskandikaya. Jema. Much love to you. Much love. Jema.